Hey traders, let's take a moment to thank and feature one of our top sponsors, FX2 Funding. If you're looking to get funded, listen up. FX2 is offering traders the chance to trade with up to $200,000 in simulated capital and receive up to 85% of their results. If you're interested in getting started, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below. If you pass the evaluation, you'll receive your fee back and gain access to your new account. FX2 allows traders access to a wide range of assets and allows traders to hold their trades over the weekend. FX2 is giving A1 Trading Show fans 15% off the evaluation fee if you use promo code A1Trading15. So if you'd like to learn more, again, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below and use code A1Trading15 at checkout for a discount on any of their evaluations. Now back to the show.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another October Halloween themed stream. Hope everyone's doing well and keeping safe in these crazy markets that we're living in. You know, I heard somebody say on CNBC, and I really appreciated this idea. They said the market feels like it's gone in reverse. We had a period of time where it seemed like inflation was getting beat, right? It seemed like inflation was coming down and the dollar was coming down with it, right? And now it seems like the dollar does not want to quit. However, we just had some numbers come out of the, come out of the US. It is the ADP non-farm employment change. And look at this, guys. We actually had some cool jobs numbers for once in our entire lives. I'm just kidding. Of course, we've had cooler numbers in the past, but the point is, oh my goodness, we've just had a slew of strong economic data overall, which has been pushing the dollar higher. And here we go. We've got actually something to the contrary for once. 89,000 jobs. The ADP non-farm employment change is the estimated change in the number of employed people during the previous month, excluding, of course, the farming industry. Now, this is what I like to consider a look ahead to NFP, which is the big one that comes out on Friday. Markets will certainly be moving due to this number as it tries to position itself ahead of the NFP jobs reports. But it's really interesting to see actually some cooler numbers out of the US. Now, again, this is not necessarily NFP, and it's not, we still have some time to kill before we get to NFP. The dollar, of course, pulling back on this number, seeing a little bit of weakness in that regard due to the fact that, okay, if jobs are cooling down, that might be some data in the direction of, okay, jobs cooling, labor market loosening a little bit. That might give the Fed room to be a little less hawkish. Now, if you are newer to the fundamental side and the trading side here, the idea of a hawkish Fed is raising rates to slow down the economy so that inflation gets squashed with it, right? Inflation is a real problem here in the US. If you're if you're anybody, you realize that inflation is real. Most times people have no idea what inflation is. They don't care about it. The price creeps higher every year across, for the most part, every year, except for years like 2008. Prices we see on average go higher. But people really start caring when prices rapidly go higher. And there are several reasons for that. There are several contributing forces, but one of the main ones is really strong economies actually increase inflation. So the Fed's job sometimes is to be the no fun guy who pulls the punch bowl from the party, if you will, to slow down the drinking, or in this case, the inflation. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about markets' reaction to this morning. We've got the NASDAQ making a push higher, and this is actually maybe promising for some of the indices bulls. We spoke to one of them yesterday. We had Ivan on the show. He is bullish on the S&P 500. I am actually pretty positioned, if I'm being completely fair. I have some options trades going on that are bullish indices for the coming months. So I wouldn't mind if the stock market went up. However, do I think that that's an easy course of action going forward? No, I don't think so. I wish it was. Trust me. Trust me when I say my stock portfolio would really like if the markets rallied. Do I think it is what is likely to happen in the short term? No, but can I be wrong? Absolutely. And I hope I am. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty much, I am, factors are pretty bearish right now. You have yields screaming higher right now. And yields, by the way, guys, dollar bulls, uh, the reason for all the dollar bullishness is right in front of you. It's the yields. The bond world has been crashing, and yields going up with that. Of course, yields trade inversely to bonds. Now, in terms of the dollar index, I want to come back to this and talk technicals here for a second. So we've got a breakout to the upside, and now price pulling back into this area. Many traders are wondering, is this an opportunity to be long the dollar? And in my personal opinion, as much as I wish it wasn't, it does look kind of like a bullish area. So I am one of those, I'm trying to be rational with the markets. I would love for this dollar to start selling off and continue to go lower. That's my bias. I want a weaker dollar. A weaker dollar likely leads to my indices trades, my options trades doing well. But on the currency side and the gold side, et cetera, things that are very much respondent to the dollar, I'm going to be honest, the dollar still looks strong. And as we pull back to this 38.2% ratio here today off of swing low to swing high, we get our 3 fib levels listed here. I'm going to be honest, this looks like an opportunity to be more bullish USD. Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the dollar yen. This chart just got broken yesterday. Everybody who was watching it knows that already. The dollar yen, if you watched my video yesterday, we discussed the Bank of Japan basically saying they're going to step in and intervene. I kind of, to be completely honest with you, I question mark. I put a big question mark on the Bank of Japan because are they able to really stop this dollar yen from creeping higher and breaking through the highs? Again, clearly they have the ability to spook the market, but the reality is that the dollar pressures are very real. And if yields continue to rise, it's possible we completely break out on dollar yen to the upside. Anyways, my idea that I pointed out in my video yesterday about the yen's debacle basically is I'm looking for this high point to potentially break out. Okay, dollar yen previously traded at 150. This has been clearly stated by the Bank of Japan that they do not like this area. They don't like the exchange rate being that high. But if you're watching the Bank of Japan and they what is their card that they're going to play, right? Their trap card, if you will. Their trap card is going to be we're going to buy our own bonds to support our currency. That is basically what they have kind of threatened to do. Now, you might say, well, that just means it has to go down, Nick, right? Quick history lesson, guys. Quick history lesson. Do not let a central bank completely fool you, okay? If we go back in time to a little something called 2015, let me show you a past example of a central bank completely devastating people. Whether they meant to or not, who knows? 1.2 was a peg level for the Swiss National Bank against the euro. They said, we do not want this to go any lower. And so what did they do? They supported their currency here, right? They didn't want the Swiss franc to strengthen anymore against the euro. Well, they took it back. And the following pure chaos, this destroyed not just retail traders. This destroyed entire brokerages. This destroyed entire, everything was devastated by this. So my point was showing you this is that just because a central bank says, hey, yeah, we want to support this current price, does simply not mean that they have to, and is a certainty. So many traders are going to make the dumb mistake. Not actually dumb. It's kind of a logical idea. The logical idea is like, okay, well, 150, they want to support that level. I feel like I got the wind in my sails. I'm just going to sell the dollar yen every time it comes up to 150, right? Just be careful. They can take it back. They can, and the resulting, if everybody's shorting the dollar yen thinking guaranteed going to come down, be very careful with that. In fact, let me show you guys a catastrophic warning signal that we spotted yesterday on our retail positioning. Look at this, guys. Guess what retail traders are doing right now? We're setting the stage for what I think could be devastating to retail traders. Retail traders look at Bank of Japan saying that and they say, oh, they're going to support the 150 level. We got to be short dollar yen. Just be careful. I'm saying this. I'm going to say this over and over. I hope you're hearing me. Central banks, just because they say they'd like to buy bonds to support their currency, does not guarantee that they can just outright defeat the strength of the US dollar continuing higher. So do not get caught with your pants down. That is what that looks like. Okay. So that is, I don't know how to any more PG way to say that. All right. That's not even PG. That's like PG 18. But the point is, right, just be so careful, because again, people are going to get crushed by that potentially, if that were to come to life. Yeah, just I'm telling you now, we should probably clip this just in case, because again, it's these are central banks can play games. They can play fake moves, right? They can try to talk something out of existence, right? It's like Bankman-Fried, the SBF guy, the FTX guy. He was, the week before, he was like, his whole thing imploded. He was like, "We're fine, everything is good," right? People lie, so be careful. Okay, so a lot of stuff to cover here today, guys. We had a number come out of the US. I mentioned this briefly earlier. Some cooler jobs numbers might offer a little bit of relief in the short term to dollar bears. And let's take a look at this. So here is your 1 hour chart view. I mentioned this on the dollar. The dollar's still relatively strong overall. Economic figures look good. For the most part, I still think dollar strength is in. But let's go take a look at gold. Gold, I mean, this is just showing the weakness of gold. We had some weak dollar news, and yet gold barely moves off the lows. People are not interested in gold right now. I mean, we are. Hey, to be fair to gold, we haven't broken this level of support, but we also haven't really strongly seen the bounce. I mean, you would expect with some cooler jobs numbers here this morning that we could at least get a push off of the lows, maybe up into the 1830s, 1835, something like that. Not quite. So yeah, oil. Yeah, I got stopped out on oil. This one, no bueno for me. I tried to take a long on oil, and did not work out. It happens to all of us at some point or another, but I had like a 1-to-1 trade going, and then just completely fell apart, unfortunately. So I am out of the way on that one for now. And we'll look, honestly, I don't really see any trade now for oil. If anything, this level breaking out solidified, like, yeah, this actually might be the end of this uptrend. So I caught this move here, right? So I caught some great moves on oil. But I also got stopped out on the second attempt. So it happens. So I'm out of oil, no trade on oil for me, and not interested in buying again. This one, again, sometimes you just got to take your L's on the chin and just say, you know what? Trade is not there anymore, and that's okay. Yeah. So anyways, let's keep going. S&P making a little bit of a push off the lows, but still, again, a long way to go. I am bullish on the Russell for the longer term. If we do start to see that dollar weakness, the Russell likely would do well in an environment in which interest rates potentially come down. That would be great for the Russell trade ideas, but not really quite ready for that just yet. Anyways, Euro USD, we'll take a look at the Euro together. Let's check NASDAQ. We'll take a look at NASDAQ in just a moment. You all always know I'm happy to talk NASDAQ, especially when it's actually looking bullish. But for me, it's still not. We'll talk about that in a second. Euro pulling back to resistance, past support. Is it going to hold as resistance? It doesn't look too promising at the current levels. However, it does seem to have come back to retest the 50%. Let's do this really quick. I'm just going to tighten up my zones here a little bit. So we've got this 50% retracement that's kind of come in. Will the euro continue lower? Obviously, it's very much dependent on dollar strength. I would say path of least resistance is down for Euro USD, in my personal opinion. I'm not probably going to take that trade at this time just because I see some other things. And also, I would really be interested in that 50%, that dollar strength. But I'm also being cautious because, again, we're 2 days away from, well, we have unemployment claims tomorrow. We have a lot of jobs numbers coming out for the rest of the week. And I think that will give us a little bit of a picture on the dollar situation. If we get hot jobs numbers, I'm just going to stay bullish on dollar. But if it does not, if it starts showing some cooling signs, maybe it's time to start looking at the dollar a little bit differently. But again, we don't know those numbers yet. We have one piece of data. We had cooler ADP non-farm employment change this morning. That's pretty bearish for the dollar in the short term. But again, this is one piece of data. Don't let that one piece of data completely change your opinion of the dollar, right? We're still in an uptrend. Bulls are still in control. I mean, honestly, this dollar bullishness, this level actually looks pretty decently attractive in my personal view. I probably will stick away from dollar yen just because of all the Bank of Japan stuff. But Euro USD, I actually don't hate it, to be honest. And I think the EDGEFINDER does have it as a sell. Let's take a look. Let's see. The euro is very bearish. So we're still getting a very bearish reading out of the EDGEFINDER. So I do like that. I apologize. These streams can be pretty taxing on my voice, so I have to drink water. Nick, do you usually hedge? No, I don't usually hedge. Depends what you define as hedge. I trade some options for premium, and in many ways, it's not purely momentum trading. So if you want to talk about hedging in the sense of strategy diversification, I do a little bit of that. UJ is so manipulated now. I think, you know, I would say less or so manipulated and just many forces at play. Many forces, because you have a dollar strengthening situation, and then you have NFP on the horizon. Then you have the Bank of Japan saying, hey, we're going to buy our own bonds to try and support price of the yen, right? They don't like that the yen has gotten so beat up. So manipulated, I mean, it's two major central banks, and they both have influence. So pure manipulation, I would think, would involve just one central power. Whereas in currency pairs, there's oftentimes there's two. In fact, there's oftentimes many involved in, you know, like for example, the euro dollar. There's many countries involved in this exchange. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to shout out something, by the way, guys. We are doing a giveaway this month. If you're not already inside of our Discord channel, join it. It's totally free to join our Discord. And if you do join this, one random person is going to be selected to get a free gold VIP membership. What that unlocks for you is it unlocks access to the trades being shared by myself and my colleague, Frank. So what I mean by that is you can see inside of the Discord, Frank is sharing his trades. I'm sharing my trades. I mentioned I had an oil trade that didn't go too hot. So this one's not working out too well. But Frank shares his trades. I share my trades. If you would like the full breakdowns, the full analysis of our trades with each one that we share, consider joining our Discord community. We do have some free version stuff, as well as the paid version, which gets you access to the trade alerts, coaching webinars, so on and so forth. By the way, if you would like information, if you'd like to just go ahead and join instead of just joining the giveaway, of course, you could join the giveaway by clicking this link that's in the chat, but you can also use this second link to just directly message someone on our staff to ask about pricing options. We do have different options available, so if you'd like to hear more, just speak with someone on my staff by clicking this link, which is in the chat right now. So if you're watching on your phone, just go down to your chat and click that link. It'll take you to a chatting window, and then you have a real conversation with a real person. It's not a bot. We are speaking with I think Emily is on deck today, so you can meet Emily. She's very nice. Anyways, let's see how much for the EDGEFINDER. Ask Emily. Just shoot a message. She's on standby. She can help you out with pricing details. We have several different options available for the EDGEFINDER. We have a basic version, we have a pro version. So Emily will walk through that with you. If you would like a copy of our software, then you can also message her there for that. And also, by the way, if you do message Emily and let her know that you're a stream viewer, she'll give you an extra discount. So take advantage of that. Message Emily. She is in the office. Usually we have 3 people, Hallie, Drew, and Emily, but Emily is the only one actually at the ready today, unfortunately. So, but not unfortunately, because Emily is great and she's capable of helping you out. All right, let's see what else we've got here. In terms of stuff to look at, so again, that euro is punching up against that 50% retracement. If I do take that trade, you guys will see it inside Discord. I'm considering it. If it squeezes just a bit higher here, I might be interested. NASDAQ really making a nice push, a nice recovery move here would be great here for the indices. It's been really a tough start to October, but this is a pullback, right? Pullbacks happen, and as you can see, we're down 8% off the highs on the S&P 500. You take a look at the Dow. Dow's been getting crushed too. Dow is down 7.4%. This is of course US 30 for those of you who trade indices. Taking a quick look at NASDAQ again, we seem to be trying to find support off of these levels, but still, the NASDAQ is under a lot of pressure. Rising yields, hawkish Federal Reserve. However, one thing that it does have going for it is we have seen some pretty strong GDP growth. We've seen, that sort of thing. And by the way, if we take a look at some stuff here, the GDP numbers here recently were not so hot for the indices. So we have GDP as part of our algorithm. By the way, if you're like, what the heck are you looking at right now? If you're a newer viewer to the stream, I will say this. So we are a software company out of Atlanta, Georgia. We build software tools for traders, and our highest priority tool that most people basically want is called the EDGEFINDER. The EDGEFINDER allows traders to source a ton of market data all at once. You hear me talking about fundamentals, you hear me talking about yields, GDP, inflation, labor market, interest rates, Fed, all this stuff, which is so powerful in markets. And many traders, many traders, they hear all that stuff and they say, yeah, but that doesn't really matter. I'm just going to look at technical charts. And I say this often. Technical charts are great, but they are not everything. Because fundamentals, what they allow you to do by taking a look at these numbers and listening to what Jerome Powell has to say, what you can do is you can, just like a story leaves clues throughout the story as to what might happen next in the story, same thing with fundamentals. I think with proper, understanding of how fundamentals work, they can actually be a more leading indicator than even price action. People don't like to think of that because they like, no, price action is king. I think fundamentals are king, to be completely honest with you. If you're thinking about a story, right? A story has clues in it that tell you what might be coming next. It's not a certainty of what's coming next because stories can take turns, but the story analogy, I think, is really strong case for fundamentals. Sure, you could probably say something similar for price action, but oftentimes price action is completely wrong. For example, fundamentals probably told you that this could have happened. Actually, this is a wonderful example of when fundamentals just beat out price action all day long. We talked about this idea way before it happened. We talked about the Bank of Japan. People were asking me, Nick, are you buying dollar yen? And I said, no, because the 150 mark, I know the story of the Bank of Japan at this 150 mark. We know historically that they don't like the exchange rate being there. And so I quoted caution in this area. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just showing you guys an example of how fundamentals are so powerful. And yet price action went up there anyway. So if you were just following price action, you might have been long and you might have gotten crushed by that move yesterday. So my point with that is fundamentals can sometimes save your butt. They can also be really, really impactful in finding the story of the market before it even happens. Okay. Fundamentals leave footprints on the chart. So technicals are your entry. That's exactly right. So if you are hearing all of that stuff and you're like, okay, I get it. Fundamentals are powerful. That is why we have dedicated so much money, time, and energy into building the tools that we offer. So if you want access to the EDGEFINDER, if you'd like to unlock some fundamentals into your trading, use the EDGEFINDER, check it out. They will dramatically help you. We've had so many people who have given us that feedback. It makes it easier to understand, simpler to grab lots of data. All you have to do, if you would like a copy or you'd like to hear options on how you could get a copy, click this link here. We've got various ways to get yourself a copy if that's something that you're interested in. So let's see, in terms of what's on this list, pound dollar, very, very bearish still. The Dow Jones still very bearish. S&P still bearish. Although I would like this to turn at some point, it does not seem promising to do so just yet. Let's see, dollar yen still bullish. I will say, like I said, the dollar yen, I am very bullish if it can break out of that resistance point. If it breaks 150, I'm actually bullish dollar yen. As crazy as it sounds, right? But that 150 mark, if what I'm talking about with the fundamentals, what I'm talking about the Bank of Japan, if they are beat at their own game at 150, I think that would be like blood in the water, and dollar yen could continue to push higher. So it's something I'm watching. So I'm not trading dollar yen right now, but I'm very interested if it is able to break through the highs to possibly look for pullbacks and look for continuations. I do like that trade quite a bit. Let's see what else we've got. So dollar Swiss, Euro Swiss, Nikkei, Aussie Swiss, Aussie yen. Some of these I don't personally trade very much. So I'm kind of, people ask, Nick, do you just trade everything that comes on the EDGEFINDER? And the answer is no. I still trade my certain things. The EDGEFINDER is not Nick's strategy. The EDGEFINDER is the result of Frank, our developer, and myself going through data, scoring stuff. And there's plenty of things on this list that I don't personally even trade. I trade a select few currency pairs, and I trade, a lot of gold and indices and oil. So yeah. Anyways, in terms of, so currency pairs, pound USD, US 30 on the bearish side, S&P on the bearish side, on the bullish side, getting things like dollar yen, CAD Swiss. So yeah. EU is very bullish right now, Nick. Yeah, let's go look at pound. What's going on with the pound dollar? Probably, I mean, it's due for a pullback. Let's be so honest. This thing has just gotten destroyed. And if we take a look at price action here, I would say, again, there's possibly some bearishness that could come in, maybe at that 61.8% retracement. I don't hate that level. All right, so you've got price pushing off of the lows. If it does come up into that 61.8, that could be interesting for continuation plays. Got that nice downward trend line on the 4-hour chart, right? Again, this level has been stubbornly held for bears. So we'll continue watching that one. Yeah. Let's see. That NASDAQ still finding support right around that 14,550 mark. Oil just getting taken out here today. Silver back on the rise. Gold struggling to make any moves off of the lows. I'll do a quick coverage on gold here. So thoughts on gold is as follows. I'm pretty bearish on gold. Momentum is clearly to the downside. Take a look at some of the factors. Let's actually do this. I should really do this more often. Look at like just isolated select things. Anyways, so if we're looking at gold and we're looking at the algorithm's output, score of -4, COT bearish. Retail traders are very long gold right now. That's a bearish indicator for us because retail traders typically lose money. Seasonal trends suggest slight bearishness this month. Trend is to the downside. GDP, +1. Inflation, -1. So inflation figures. In fact, let's go look at the gold scanner. This might just be easier. Okay. So gold scanner page, taking a look at the score of -4. We can go through some of this statistics. 3.7. Inflation ticked higher, and it's in an area where the Fed doesn't like it. So that is bearish for gold. That can be confusing for people. People think like, oh, inflation's going higher. Shouldn't that be bullish for gold as people want to get in gold instead of dollars and the dollar weekends? Well, it's a little bit confusing at first, but the idea is rising inflation. What that tells you is the Fed is going to probably need to do something about that in the form of raising interest rates. Inflation is kind of a lead indicator a lot of times of what the Fed will likely do with interest rates. So if the interest rates are going up, That puts a huge pressure to the downside on gold because economic slowdown diminishes consumer spending. It diminishes the demand for raw materials like gold, silver, copper, etc. Anyways, yeah, inflation, a little bit counterintuitive at first, but it makes sense once you think about it. You think oil will head up again? I've mentioned I'm pretty bearish on oil now that it's broken my level of support. I don't, if it comes back, then it comes back. I still think fundamentally it's not bad, but technically I don't like this chart. My idea was nullified. I took a small risk on this trade, so it's really no big deal. But again, I thought my level would hold. It did not hold, and so I am kind of not interested in oil until it shows something different. So anyways, bearish factors. So GDP growth, and then inflation, and then interest rates and labor market. So labor market is still really strong. So yeah. Anyways, let's do this. Let's keep going. We'll take a look at the dollar again, see what's happened since the report. And look at that. Dollar fell through that level. I'd like to see how this hourly candle closes. Look at that. We're seeing some dollar weakness really come in. It's almost like hard to believe when you see it because it's like the dollar has just been so red hot. I guess green hot because the chart's going up, right? But now we're seeing red candle come in, hitting that 50% retracement. So is this the level that we'll see a bounce? Again, I think that the concern is that there's probably a lot of buyers that are interested in the dollar as it does pull back. Now, I say this, I'm not necessarily really wanting to, in an ideal world, again, I would like to actually see dollar weakness start to come in. I'd like to see inflation cool, jobs cool, and I'd like to see the clouds roll away a little bit. I do my best trading in good time markets. But right now, we've just got so many rain clouds in front of us. There's so much stuff that looks like it will continue to put pressure on the markets, and that's why the dollar has reflected that. The dollar is like a reflection of of in some ways risk off, but a lot of ways it's like yields and other currencies getting beat up more than the dollar. Those are the things that drive the dollar around. So lots of work to be done. I do, like I said, I kind of like EURUSD, but I wouldn't really want to be shorting it unless I see some closure on this candle. So I'm not in any trades on this one. I was watching it, but this candle just staying so strong. Real quick, guys, we're going to take a break. Thank our sponsors. We'll come right back with more ideas and should be interesting. So coming right back after this.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, and we are back. Yeah, euro pushing higher, and like you just saw in that video, check out 8cap if you have not already. We got some great offers for them. They do offer to buy your EDGEFINDER essentially for you. If that is something that you're interested in, as James pointed out in the video you just saw, consider clicking that link that's in the chat. You can have a direct message conversation with our team and find out more information. Just message us if you'd like information about how that works. You do have to deposit into an account. You have to create an account and deposit into it with 8cap, but you can get access to the EDGEFINDER for free with that deal. Now, I will say there are some, there's some pretty good deposit sizes and different deposit options for you, but just message us and we'll give you that information. When I say we, I'm talking about, of course, my team. This show is brought to you by our team of 10 here at A1 Trading. I'm kind of our I don't know maybe Frank is the chief analyst. Maybe I'm just Frank and I are both like analysts. He does more of our readable content. By the way, speaking of readable content, hey, join the Telegram channel. We got a Telegram channel, totally free. Put a bunch of free value in there every single day. If you're looking to improve at your trading, genuinely, this is probably one of the best Telegram channels that are out there. There's 3 of us that run the Telegram. Julie and Frank do most of the lifting, and then I'll come in and help sometimes with throwing in my ideas or something like that. So if you would like to join the Telegram channel, click that link. It's right here. Again, totally free to join the Telegram. And we put out a ton of valuable resources if you're trying to improve your fundamentals, all that sort of good stuff. Yeah. So Frank got that car fixed. Hey, thank you for checking in on Frank. I think he did. I think he did. He told me I think he's going to be in today, but probably not on the show. So yes, he's hopefully doing better in that regards. Car problems are the worst, are they not? They are the worst. EURUSD pushing higher here. Broke through seemingly the 50% retracement, and with only a few minutes left to go on this candle, that's going to probably nullify the idea I just had. I was thinking about possibly getting short on the close of this candle. I'll have to watch it for the next hour or two, see what happens there. Indices, this is probably going well for some of my options trades that I've got. I do share my options trades, by the way, in the group. I'll show you where I'm at with that. So inside of our Discord channel, let's see what we've got. Options trades. Options trades. I've been doing a ton of options trades. I sold puts on the Dow Jones, that's US 30 proxy. I sold puts on XLF, which is an energy ETF. I sold puts on IWM, that's a Russell, Russell 2000 index. Now, here's the thing. All of these things are pretty just generally bullish on indices, but they're more longer term plays. So I think, to be completely honest, I think that with rates at these levels for a period of time, I do think that the dollar story will start to cool at some point again. I don't necessarily think the dollar goes all the way back to highs. And if it does, we've got some serious problems. That's probably going to entail that we've got, interest rates going higher than where they even currently are. Right now, the status quo is Fed's not going to rate hike. They're going to stay at where they're at. And we're going to watch, hopefully, inflation cool off, and maybe those rates can start to peel off as well at some point in the future. And if that story does come true, it almost like resets the trade idea that I had on gold at the beginning of this year. Beginning of this year, I was really bullish gold because it did look like disinflation was in full swing, and that would kind of lead to a nice run up in gold and the S&P, and it did. I was actually really, really right about that. Where I was wrong was I expected it to continue. I expected a disinflation continue. And many people who were on the other side of that camp were very much right. Many people were saying that inflation would bottom out around 3.5%, and we would struggle to get any lower from that. That is seemingly where we are at now. I would love if we could punch through that and continue to get under that 3.5% inflation plateau that we've got. That would lead to dollar weakness. It would be great for my indices trades and my and possibly even get me bullish on gold again. But right now, it's a struggle. So yeah. Nick, do you buy naked options or just sell and do covered positions? Good question. I sell puts. I sell cash secured puts, and I sell covered calls for the most part. Mostly on ETFs. So I don't trade. I don't do much individual stock trading. That's a whole nother playground. My specialty is kind of macro stuff like dollar, the highest level, right? The dollar yield, stock indices are kind of where the lowest on the chain that I get. I do have some stock positions, but for the most part, I stick to what I know, which is stock indices and up, I would say. Really US stock indices only. I don't really trade any other. Oil, dollar, gold, currencies, and stock indices. That's pretty much where I live, I guess, as they say on financial television. Where do you live, right? They say like, where do you live? Because some people live in the bonds market. Some people live in the forex market. Some people live in, small caps, mid caps, large caps. This stuff is great. Let me just say this, guys. If you hear me saying all this stuff, I'm learning this stuff every day because there's so much to learn. And the second you think you know everything about trading, there's a reason not everybody does this. There's a reason why many people quit along the way. It is incredibly difficult stuff. This, whole like financial market stuff, I've been doing it for 8 years and I learn stuff every day. So, yeah. Ivan says, is gold a buy or sell? Ivan, thanks for the question. Ivan loves to just jump in here and ask for the simple binary questions. I'm messing with him because you guys might know Ivan. He's one of our guests that comes on the show regularly. So Ivan, he's kind of joking, but maybe he's serious. Anyways, the gold market, is it a buy or sell? My simple idea for now is if it breaks lower, pulls back, I would say bearish factors are still at play. That dollar strength still looks pretty intact to me, despite the pullback that we're seeing today. But I think maybe we wait for jobs numbers. So for example, if jobs numbers come out strong on Friday, we break out, pullbacks, very simple, straightforward trade. I like that trade a lot. If, however, we see jobs cool tremendously and gold bottoms out, we start to see kind of a trend reversal with following data coming in the next few weeks, gold bullishness, maybe? I don't like to try and pick a bottom though on this gold market. It's too risky in my personal opinion. So, yeah. Guys, there's 384 of you guys. I just want to say again, if you have not already joined the Telegram channel, please join us there. If you're a regular viewer, if you're a dedicated viewer, definitely be in our Telegram. We keep people up to date with competitions. We've got one that's going on. We're starting today is the first day of the trading competition. Get more information on future competitions and all sorts of good stuff like that. Make sure to join our Telegram. Like I said, it's free to join. We do offer some promos and stuff in there as well. So if you're a regular viewer and you'd like to keep up with like promos, or you'd like to keep up with, trade ideas and things that we're putting out, join the Telegram. I've been quoted as saying, trading is the hardest, easiest way to make money. Trading is so hard to make money. Even like it's so hard. It's so hard. It's so much harder than you think it is even. Like it's hard and then it's way harder than that. You know why it's so hard? It's because it's so competitive. The smartest people in the world fight in markets. Computer science geniuses, PhDs of economics and finance, and money managers with billions of dollars under management. They are not making these decisions lightly. This is an art and a science at the same time. And I preach that because I don't want to sell you something or encourage you to go down this path if you aren't ready to work so hard. Let me ask you guys in the chat, if you are really dedicated to trading, drop a me in the chat. Let's just get a little bit of a pep rally here going. Just type me in the chat. If that's you, if you don't care, if you're not scared, I'm trying to scare off the people who are not serious. If you are serious, like you are like, I am going to do this thing, put me in the chat. Let's just get a pep rally going. Let's get together, raise some motivation. It's a lot of work. I'm telling you, if you're somebody who's listening to this and you're like, wow, this is actually way more complicated than I thought it was going to be, and I'm not really passionate about it, the best advice I could ever give you is walk away from trading if you are not ready to be so invested in learning. But if you are somebody who loves this stuff as much as I do, and you're passionate about this stuff as much as I am, it can be very rewarding. And it can also be a lot of fun to learn something and to dedicate yourself to a craft. Cool. Lots of me's in the chat. Thank you guys for your pep rally support. NASDAQ, is it holding those gains? It is slightly. S&P holding those gains slightly. US 30, same thing. Pound USD really pushing off the lows. Is this dollar gonna bottom out? That's the question. 50% did get hit so far. A little bit of a push off that level. It's a very expensive hobby. It certainly is. If you're not fully prepared, it is so much work. It's so much work, and it's easy to get kind of discouraged by trading. I mean, I've been doing this stuff for years, and there's still times where it's discouraging, right? It's tough to go through a drawdown. It's tough to spend so much time learning only to realize you have so much more to learn, right? Again, I'm telling you, after 8 years of every day, I do this day in, day out. I do this for 8 hours at least a day. I'm not talking about trading alone. I go on podcasts, I do research, I listen to stuff, I learn stuff, I prepare myself 8 hours a day, every single day. And I'm saying that to show you there's no easy, fast money in this stuff. All that Lambo, like house stuff makes me like almost just furious to know how disrespectful that is to the people who are actually doing it. Those people are just purely selling you scams. Like that's not real. That's just simply not real. Trading is not that easy to generate those amounts of profits that quickly. And people hate when I say that stuff. I get so much flack for saying that kind of down, like what the people who support me say, like that's down to earth, that's realistic. And the people who don't like that, they think I sound like a dream crusher. I'm not trying to crush anybody's dreams. I'm trying to warn people, don't waste your time on this if you think it's going to be easy and fast. Yeah, anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up the show here for me. I think that is what we've got here on the desk for today. We do have 10 a.m. We've got services PMI. Stay in the Telegram channel. We'll stay active in there, keep you guys up to date with what we find. And also, last thing I will say, if you want to join our Discord, if you're serious about this stuff and you want to align yourself with us, trade alongside Frank and I, if you'd like to join our chat room, if you'd like to join our coaching webinars, Ivan does coach calls throughout the week. If you're dedicated to this stuff and you want to learn, if you want to improve, I'm telling you, this stuff is hard enough to learn every single day with people helping you. But if you're just out there doing it alone, it's going to take you twice as long. Come join us. Check out the educational services that we offer, as well as the trade alerts services where you can see trades in real time from real traders, explanations, full breakdowns, get access to the trade alerts and more. Click the link that's being dropped in the chat to send a direct message to our team. And because you made it this far, you will also, because you're here with us on the stream viewers get an extra discount. All you have to do is message us, let us know that you're from the stream, and we'll give you a bigger discount. So to get access to those pricing options, whether you want the EDGEFINDER or the Discord, someone on my team will hook you up with that special discount. Click that link in the chat right now. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Trade safe, and we'll see you next time.
And that concludes today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to give you the latest market coverage through our daily videos and articles. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe for more. Be sure to join our Telegram, where we host trading competitions, share free market analysis with trade setups, and have exclusive discounts to our products. Our Telegram is free to join. The link is in the description. See you all next time.